He looked at it. He says, yeah, that's a really bad mole. We need to take that off. And he cut the whole thing out, sent it away, calls me a couple days later and says, hey, can you come and see me? The doctor says, this is melanoma cancer.
I want to welcome you back again for another story answering the question, is God active? Today I'm here again with DJ from Alberta, and he is going to tell us another story that, well, you're going to want to listen to. DJ.
Well, years ago, wow, when was this? I had a mole on my foot, and I was born with this mole, and it one day it just kind of started to grow, change colors from brown, a little more dark brown, and strange shape. Went to the doctor, looked at it. The doctor said, okay, let's just keep track of this thing over the years. This is what we're going to do. And it's still over the years, I'm still looking at it, and it's growing a little bit more. And so by this time, I was married, and so showed my wife, and she says, I work in a hospital. That doesn't look good. You should go to the doctor again. And by this time, it's been years, and so I don't need to go to the doctor. I feel fine. I go to the doctor when I'm not feeling well. So just everything is fine. No, you need to go to the doctor. And Luke, years, okay, go to the doctor, and they try to, our wives try to encourage us, but we just hear nag, right?
Okay. Oh.
And so, she's trying to be encouraging, but that's not how we hear it. And she's saying, listen, it could be cancer. And I said, I don't care if it's cancer. Ignorance is bliss. Leave me alone. And I was quite rude about it. And so I still not going to the doctor, but she's still on me. Just, you gotta go. So finally, okay, I'm going to go. Just, oh yeah, you need to find me a doctor. If you want me to go, you need to find me a doctor. So of course she did. And so I did go. He looked at it, and he says, yeah, that's a really bad mole. We need to take that off. And he cut the whole thing out, sent it away, calls me a couple days later and says, hey, can you come and see me? Well, my wife knew right away with that man, I'm going to go to that appointment with you. And I'm like, everything's fine. What are you talking about? She said, no, let's go. We go, doctor, sitting with the doctor, and the doctor says, he says, this is melanoma cancer. It came back melanoma. He says, your faith is going to be tested. And so it was bad. So we left there, and my wife was just, you have cancer. And I'm like, everything is fine. I totally went into denial. It was just the craziest thing. She'd say, well, you should eat better now. You should eat less sugar. And I'm like, because you have cancer now. And I'm like, don't say I have cancer. Stop telling me I have cancer. You're going to give me cancer by saying I have cancer. I don't have cancer. And I may not be Egyptian, but I was totally on denial there. And so we went to another doctor who looked at my foot. This thing was on my foot, and they say, oh, don't get too much sun, because sun's going to give you cancer. This was on my foot. It never saw the light of day, always wearing a sock. So we go to the next doctor. He says, you've had cancer, and we cut it out. Now we need to excise a larger chunk. And that was another, yeah, right. There was a little misunderstanding. The first doctor told me that he didn't get it all.
Okay.
So then I had to trust, I was reading my Bible, and just the story that I read, the words just left off the page, that you're not going to die. And so I really had to trust God.
So you were kind of in denial before. Then yes. You read that, you realized, and then it says, hey, you're not going to die. Now you got a different doctor.
Yes, because there was a bunch of dermatologists that wanted to see me, and so you just kind of get rushed from one doctor to the next and go. So now they wanted to take 10 centimeters? It was a big chunk a larger chunk of my skin off, and this is where I'm so glad that skin is stretchy, because I didn't need a skin graft.
Okay.
So they just took off more, and I'm still here. But that's the thing. Yeah, that's it. What's the point? That's the point. The last doctor had said to me, he said, he said, we're not fooling around with this kid. This is melanoma. Like, this is melanoma. This is not your basal, even though that's all bad too, right? He said, if this had gone 0.02 millimeters deeper into your foot, you would not be here. The least your whole leg would be amputated. 0.02. No, that's taking a pencil line and cutting that up into 10, and then 1, 2, right? And so I was just so happy. I called my cousin, and I was just so happy. I was praising the Lord. I'm like, I have a foot. And he says to me, oh, so what are you doing with your foot now? And so, okay, I don't know. That was an interesting conversation. So then I go back to work, and I'm driving around. I was a courier in Calgary for quite a long time, and so I'm driving around, I'm doing my deliveries, and here comes the Holy Spirit, and he's like, "Hey, DJ, what are you doing with your foot? What are you doing with your foot? What are you doing with your foot?" And I'm like, "Leave me alone, Lord. I mean, I'm at work." And he's like, "No. What are you doing with your foot?" And so I just prayed, and I said, "Lord, if you want me to be in some kind of ministry, if you want me to tell people about you, then just open up the doors for me." And you got to be careful prayers that you pray, because all of a sudden doors started opening up, and I'm working in ministry now, and different people and churches call, and me and my wife are now part of our ministry, and we visit different places and just tell people about the love of God and relationships now, and just God is real, and he saved my life. I should not be sitting here. I should not be sitting here now, able to tell people about him.
Wow. There's a text in the Bible that comes out of Proverbs. Proverbs has a lot of interesting texts, but Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. This is not a text that we actually really like to hear told to us, and this is what it says. It says, "Fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to others." And as you were telling her the story today, and talking about how ignorance is bliss, how just kind of it's nice to just kind of go, and we're going along, and I mean, this other person over here, or somebody over here, maybe family member has some advice for us. We don't want to hear it. You may be today in denial. You may be thinking, okay, everyone, I like all these voices silenced. People are telling you, like DJ's wife was saying, hey, maybe you should get off sugar. He's like, don't tell me I got cancer. We don't want to know we have things at times. But people that love us tell us things. Now, I know that you're saying right now, well, hold it. I've been told things from people that don't love me, and it hurts. But people who love you will tell you things. And so the text goes back, fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to others. I want to challenge you to be wise. I want to challenge you to sit back and say, okay, does this person really love me? Why would they be telling me this? There's a reason. They want you to have something more than you have. What if DJ hadn't listened? Maybe he wouldn't have a leg, maybe he wouldn't be here. What'll happen if you don't listen to somebody who loves you? I want to challenge you to take time to think about that. And join us next week as we continue answering the question, is God active?